When I was about 18 years old, I joined the church and had the opportunity to attend an institute class. Our teacher was Brother Chapman, and he was an amazing teacher. He helped my testimony to grow so much. And it was really because of his passion for the gospel, his love for the students, and his teaching style. Uh, he just was amazing. He shared stories, he had humor that helped me to be really engaged in the lessons and to further grow my testimony and help my understanding of the gospel principles to grow as well. One time in his class, he explained that as a result of us growing up in the world, we have accepted certain falsehoods as truth that we will need to overcome and change in order to really overcome the world. And as I've thought about that, and as I've pondered, and as I've strived to apply this principle, I've discovered many falsehoods that I've accepted as truth that if I didn't change, my life would be so drastically different. What I'm going to explain to you today is my journey, the path of me applying these principles to discover some of these falsehoods that I've accepted as truths and some of the results of me changing them and how that has positively affected me. The first discovery came as I was serving as a full-time missionary in Arizona. I was talking with one of my wood mission leaders, for the housekeeper, and he was explaining his disbelief in other people, other couples arguing, fighting, and yelling, and bickering at each other. He found it so hard to believe that other couples would do this, that they would engage in these angry battles with their spouses. He further explained that him and his wife Holly, they never argue, they never fight, and sure they have disagreements, but they're able to calmly talk about them, and overcome some of their differences of opinion in a very cordial and respectful manner. And he explained that it just was so hard for him to understand why people argue. And as he explained that to me, I'm thinking, I completely understand why people argue, why people fight, why people eventually get divorced. My parents were divorced. My dad's on his third marriage. My sisters have been divorced. The culture of the world, especially where I grew up, there was always fighting, there was always yelling, there was always divorce. It was something that I accepted. I never thought to question it. And as I thought about that experience, my thoughts were brought back to what Brother Chapman taught me about some of these falsehoods that we accept as truth, but we need to overcome. And I've realized that, arguing, fighting, divorce, these beliefs that I thought were just part of marriage, that was falsehood. That is something that I needed to change. And over time, as I've studied more on the subject and as I've pondered, as I've talked to friends and family and leaders about that, I realized that it truly is not necessary. That no one needs to argue in marriage. No one needs to fight or yell or be disrespectful. Divorce is completely avoidable. It's something that we certainly don't need to do. And sure, it's difficult, and sure, there's going to be challenges along the way. But as we first identify that it's possible not to argue, and then as we make a mutual decision with our spouse not to argue and involve the Lord, we can become successful. And as I returned home from my mission, as I started school, and as I began to seriously think about marrying my girlfriend at the time, Ashley, I was thinking about this and about how difficult it would be to be in a marriage with someone, believing, as I believe, that we don't need to argue, how difficult it would be if they didn't share those same beliefs. Fortunately for me, my lovely wife Ashley, she had the same exact views, and so before we were ever married, when we were engaged, we made the decision that we would not argue. Again, because of the belief that we had that it was not necessary, that we don't need to argue, we don't need to fight, we don't need to be disrespectful and to put ourselves above each other. And so we made a mutual vow, a mutual commitment to never argue, to never fight in that manner. And it has been the greatest years of my life. We've never argued once since we've been married. We love each other. Our love is growing, and it is just amazing. So I think back to Brother Chapman, this wonderful principle he's taught us that there are some things in our lives, falsehoods that we accept to be truth, that all we need to do is to search them out, involve the Lord, and He will help us overcome it. And what's the result today? It's a lovely picture of my wife and I married in the temple for time and for all eternity, never to be separated.